Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2 between Na'Vi and Nigma in the Epic League. We saw Na'Vi manage to take that second game. It was pretty even for a good 20-25 minutes, but just a couple of good engagements in a row, and the Na'Vi really started to break away from it. Just their superior team fight really started showing itself, and it wasn't too much Nigma could really do to counter it unless they got some key pickoffs at the start. But every single time they tried, when Weeha went for like a flaming lasso, he's got caught out and it just went tits up for him. So we'll see if Na'Vi's able to make the same sort of performance and dismantle Nigma yet again, or if Nigma's going to do what they've done in the first game and do the same likewise to Na'Vi. We'll have to wait and see. Just who knows. We'll see if Nigma's going to lead up with that Lina pickup, which they did in the previous two games. It's their first pick of the match. Okay, so they're actually going to take up the Phoenix as their first pick. And Na'Vi are going to take the leader instead. So these two heroes just been swapping around back and forth so much in this series. Just both quite high priority pick heroes amongst quite a lot of teams. Nigma, they're finally going to pick up that Magnus. Most likely going to be for Kuroki in that position 5. It is still a hero that my control enjoys playing though. So we could see it in the position 3 role. And actually run as a core, but you tend to see it as a sort of position 5, just being that like empower bot, just really ramping up the carries farm as much as he possibly can. And then also, you know, if you can get a decent RP off, that's just a bonus. You know, if you can get a decent position off as a position 5 and you manage to get a nice 2-man RP, 2-man RP is fine. 2-man RP is fine if you're in that sort of position. Or if you've had an amazing game, you get a blink dagger off, then you could try and be a little bit more ambitious. But even 1-man, depends on the hero. But even still, it's most likely to be for growth in position 5. That's what I'm trying to get at. So see what Na'Vi are going to pick up for their second hero. And it's going to be the Slardar. So that's definitely going to be for the general in the off lane. So they've got that Lina Slardar combo. Very potent duo. Can do a lot of damage. Nigma instantly ban out the Drow. They do not want to go up against V-Tune's Drow again. It went very, very badly in the previous game. So just make sure they don't have to deal with that. Quite a wise choice, I think. Especially seeing as how the Drow leads to be able to keep her range, keep her distance away from the Slardar in the laning phase. Would give her a little bit of a better lane. Na'Vi take away the Troll. Nigma ban out the Storm Spirit. Nigma has always made sure that they banned out the Doom every single time. Definitely a hero that Iceberg loves to take into that mid lane. I think there was a couple. The last match, I think they picked it like every single game, but it actually didn't end up going too well for them. But even still, you know, traditionally Iceberg's normally pretty damn potent on that hero, so let's make sure they don't have to deal with it at any point. It's a wise thing to do. It is wise. But Na'Vi, they take away the Batrider. Don't want that in the hands of Weeha. Even though Weeha, he didn't really have the best amount of impact, to be honest, in that previous game. He died a lot of times, and I think he only really got like 2 successful Flaming Lasso, or 3 successful Flaming Lasso like ganks with it. The rest of the time, he was just all like running around in circles and died to about 5 hits on the Drow. But obviously, every game's different, you know. Potentially this game, the Batrider could have been real damn scary. So let's make sure they get rid of it. Maybe potentially going to ban out his Viper again. I mean, the Viper did end up going into the hands of Mind Control, but I think their initial idea was to have that in the mid lane for Weeha. And I really think they should have. I mean, despite the fact that Mind Control's probably not like the top best Batrider, I think it just would have been worth it purely for the fact they would have got that matchup. Or even if Mind Control went to the mid, with the Viper going up against the Abaddon, and then just have the off-lane Batrider, but still in the hands of Weeheart. I think that probably would have turned out much better for him. But you know, some things you just can't predict. It happens. It happens. So now we're going to go straight up with that P8. Lovely little combo there with the Slardar. Really benefits from that minus armor. So Nigma, they want to try and pick up a hero now that likes to build a MKB. Could potentially see a Wind Ranger for Weeheart to take into the mid lane. It is a hero who used to play a fair amount, quite a bit, and obviously loves to take that take the MKB to really go with a rapid fire or focus fire. I think it's a focus fire, rapid fire. I don't know. I'll find out later on. But yeah, that is a potential pickup. But Nigma are actually going to take the Omni Knight, so that means this Magnus is going to be pushed towards that position 3 in the hands of Mind Control then, as Kuroki will be taking this Omni Knight as the 5. It didn't really... Oh no, wait, Na'Vi ran it in the first game, didn't they? Yeah, Na'Vi ran it in the first game, and they didn't really have the best time with it. But I wasn't really sure if it's really the hero's fault more than every single lane just sort of went a bit poorly for him in that first game. Even still, Nick will run it this time. I mean, this is what happens when Secret starts picking up these like weird obscure heroes again. Every single team starts doing it. Goddamn, every team starts doing it. It's a very annoying knock-on effect. When I say annoying, it's nice to see these sort of heroes come back because it, you know, it keeps Dota nice and fresh. You know, if it was just like the same like 30 heroes that constantly got picked and you had 70 just sat there never, you know, seeing the light of day, it's very sad. So yeah, it's nice to see everyone back out. I retract my previous statement. So it's most likely Na'Vi's going to pick up their position 5 role, and that will be Undying put into the hands of Always Want to Fly for the safe lane. So, going to be the Mag and the Phoenix up against the Undying and the PA most likely. And if we're actually going to go for the Sven, you tend to see like a PA is a pretty good counter to a Sven because it forces a Sven to build an MKB, which isn't really the best item for him that he wants to build. But they're going to go with it anyway. Nonetheless, they don't really care. Maybe they just want that Omni Knight Sven combo. I think that's all they really care about. Just really make this Sven into a hardcore frontline and beast. Makes it difficult for the side of Na'Vi to truly deal with, but I think they were okay with the Slardar and the PA. I mean, obviously the Corrosive Haze, it's got half duration. I'm pretty sure that the status resistance that comes out from the Omni Knight, that does affect Corrosive Haze, doesn't it? My bad, random alarm going off on my phone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it does affect the Corrosive Haze, which would reduce its duration by 50%. Even the first initial use of the Heavenly Grace purges it off, so ain't gonna worry too much about the minus armor. Just the elusiveness and the general annoying factor of the PA is still left to consider, but we'll have to see how that actually pans out the game. See if those missed chances ends up screwing the Sven over. So it's just Weeheart's hero left to pick up for Nigma, and Iceberg's left for Na'Vi. Both teams after their mid laner right now. So Na'Vi have got quite a nice sort of like early mid game sort of timing where they can actually become quite potent. Quite similar to Nigma, to be honest. The Sven, yeah, the Sven can come on pretty early too, especially with the farm and speed that the cleave ends up providing. I think it all depends whether if V-Tune's going to go for a farming build to try and match the pace of the Sven this game, or if he's going to go for a Desolator to just try and get online early and try and just carry on applying pressure. But they were actually just grab the Gyrocopter now as their last pick. So this is going to be mid Gyrocopter then? For Weeha? It must be, surely. Quite an interesting mid hero. So we'll see what Na'Vi are going to pick up in response to that. Not got the biggest amount of time available to him. Maybe a Monkey King? Dodge out those rockets. Actually go for the Death Prophet. So ZP will obviously be able to build the Yules. We'll be able to dodge out the rockets most of the time as well. Come around that. But not that the rockets are really a big thing to be scared of at all. But, you know, it's just a nice little bonus feature. I don't know how I feel about the Death Prophet. I'm always a little bit iffy with this hero. It's quite a strange one. It's just like, I don't know. It's odd. You just like to run around in team fights and just hope your spirits are attacking the right geezers and stuff. Maybe still looking at these lineups, I think I am slightly favouring Nigma. I mean, Miracle will definitely struggle to farm in the early portions of the game, going up against Slardar and the Lina for sure. But then, yeah, I think the PA should have a little bit of an easier time going up against the Mag, purely for the fact that she's got the Undying as her support. And Undying loves going up against strength melee heroes. Really abuses the fact of that decay stealing away the strength, reducing damage and HP. Pretty potent.
My deepest sympathies.
So it looks like every lane's is going to be pretty standard 2-1-2 across the board. No one trying to go for any sort of like early 4-man ganks this time. Everyone's spread about. Very even. So yeah, I definitely feel like V-Tune should have an easier time in the start of this game, and it looks like he has got that Battle Fury queued up, so he wants to try and match the farming space coming out from the Sven. Especially seems like it's going to be Sven with an Empower on top as well, so giga farming speed that it's going to be on Miracle for in this game. So I suppose if V-Tune did commit for that Desolator, it would definitely be pretty scary. Always want to fly. He's tried to go for a very aggressive position to get these bounty runes. Ends up walking into quite a few members of Nigma right now. And looks like he's getting completely caught out. This rocket barrage doing so much damage, along with the shockwave as well. Hold him in place. Looks like he's going to be able to snatch the bounty rune at least. So he gets that. He does end up dying though, and that's actually first blood for Weeha in the mid lane. So Weeha's definitely going to enjoy that. Just going to be able to get a couple of items online a little bit sooner. His bottle's going to come out. I suppose once he actually bought his item, just going to complete his first Wraith Band, a little bit of extra regen. He's very happy with that. Miracle's already having to like hide by the hide up by his tier 1. I mean, there is like a 2 whole creep waves worth of creeps here right now. So they will be pushing onto his tier 1 pretty soon. Even still, General's quite happy with this. Able to pretty much get all of the last hits in those 2 waves. See how the matchup in the mid lane's going. 7-1 to Iceberg to the 6-1 of Weehard. Pretty even so far. Actually, still, there's another wave for Weehard to farm up yet, so he'll probably come out slightly ahead. I think maybe when Iceberg starts getting a couple more levels into Crypt Swarm and stuff, he might be able to actually keep harassing Weehar out, make it a little bit more difficult for him to farm up. But for the early few minutes of this laning phase, that super quick projectile speed definitely makes it easy for the Gyro to try and get a couple of last hits, despite the fact that the Death Prophet has about 15 extra damage over the top of him. Just that really slow projectile can sort of disrupt things more than a high attack damage can. Nice scoop out there from Microcontrol. Pushes always want to fly all the way back to the tier 1 tower. It's probably not going to be enough to get the kill, but nice bit of harassment. Especially with that 24 decay stacks on always want to fly as well. Man is super tanky. Look at that. Microcontrol's max HP was 520. VTune trying to go for a little cheeky grab there onto GH. Just harassing him out. Trying to force him back a little bit. But even still, as I was saying, VTune's definitely having an easier time. Currently 16-3. Meanwhile, Miracle, he's only 8-0. Definitely suffering a little bit in his terms of how much farm he's going to be able to get this game. I mean, he's forced to sort of chase after Roger. Meanwhile, General's just denying entire creep waves by his tier 1 tower. This is so much XP and gold that's just being taken straight away from Miracle. Like that was literally an entire wave of XP just completely missed out there. That's really unfortunate for Miracle. He's going to try and go for a medium camp creep pool at least to try and get something going for him. But even still, it's quite far down there on CS chart. Already 600 gold behind VTune. And that is quite a lot for this part of the game. Just like Iceberg might potentially get a kill onto Weehard. Loads of soul siphons ready and available. The Warcry comes out for Miracle, tries to make a little bit of space for Weehard to escape, but it's not enough. Even with the Stormhammer there, Iceberg's still able to get that kill. Weehard, he's still like a quarter of his level away from 5. Meanwhile, Iceberg's half his way to level 6. I'm not quite sure how that's happened, seeing as how there's only 2 denies between these 2 heroes. I don't understand where this big XP disparities come from. That's really weird. So far, everything's going really nicely for Na'Vi. All 3 of their lanes going exactly the way they want. VTune pretty much got free farm down bottom. Nothing that Mind Control and GH can really do to stop that from happening. Just General has complete free farm in the top lane. Just Miracle's just getting the dregs, really. Any sort of like neutral creep camps he can get is all he's actually able to find. Hardly any normal lane creep kills. And in the mid, obviously, Iceberg already with the a kill onto Weehar, as well as, even though the CS is still pretty similar, he's just really out-leveling him. Like a full level on top. The gold disparity between the two position ones, it's still about 600 gold. So, I mean, at least it's not getting worse for Miracle, if you look at it that way. But it's still definitely not ideal. I mean, I suppose probably once he hits his level 5, he'll probably just go straight into the jungle. Seems how he's struggling a little bit for CS here. He'll probably try and finish up this creep wave and then move off. So I spoke with the Exorcism committed, just diving past the tier 1 tower, harassing out Weeheart and GH all on his own. Roger is now here to lend a little bit of support if he needs it. The Exorcism, when it ends in about a quarter of its duration, he's probably going to heal up nearly up to full HP. And sure enough he does. It's crazy the amount of heal you get out of those things. It really is. I mean, it is a monstrously long cooldown, 145 seconds. I believe still that was the first exorcism usage, and it only does about a third of the tower's HP. So I don't think Nigma mind too much about that. Not exactly taking the biggest amount to beat him. But even still, General was off to a real crazy start at the moment. Just getting so much free farm up here. One coming up Courier with Power Treads, Windlace, Orb, Bracer and Lime. Queued up for that Blink Dagger as his next time as well. And he's 1700 gold away from that. And at the rate he's able to farm, he should get that online pretty soon. Just force these creeps down, probably move into the jungle, get those creeps, go back up, clean up the normal creep wave. But down the bottom, Mind Control and GH, they managed to get a kill onto Always Wanna Fly. So they find something. It is just a position 5 pickup, but I mean it's better than nothing. Meanwhile, Iceberg, he actually managed to run down Miracle, found him while he was farming up the creep camps. Seems like it is the only place he can actually get any farm now in this game, and Iceberg just denies that away from him. Oh, even the LSA connects there from Roger through the trees. He's going to try and make his way onto Kuroki, but it is quite difficult to get a kill onto an Omni Knight. Even still, he rotates around from the side, he puts his ultimate down, but he's taking quite a lot of damage in return from this. Always Wanna Fly is getting pretty low, but he's still able to survive. Roger, with that last little hit from GH, brings him down, actually gets the kill onto Always Wanna Fly as well as Roger. So 2 kills full, and now it looks like Iceberg gets caught out. The skewer comes from Mind Control, pushes him all the way back towards the tier 1 tower. And then GH even cleans that one up, gets a triple kill for him. So nice little moves there by Nigma. Sure, Weeheart dies, but that's definitely for the greater good at this point. Even Miracle and Mind Control getting involved as well, so getting a little bit of experience. Sure, they get hardly any gold, but I mean, GH doesn't mind. He got a nice little chunk of money. Probably see General actually start getting involved in these fights once he has that Blink Dagger online. Iceberg Day wants to try and set something up here onto Weeheart as these bounty runes are spawning. Gonna run straight into both of them. General leads up with the crush, connects onto both. LSA even pull up there from Roger. Weeheart's just easy target. His little fly machine can't quite happen. Oh my god, what's happened there? They got stretched to its limits and torn asunder. So Exorcism is online for Iceberg as well, so he's probably looking to try and use that whilst it is off cooldown. Even with a double damage now, so he'll probably just pop it for this tier 1 in the mid. Sure enough he will, with the double damage on them as well. We've actually got it. Iceberg managed to get the last hit. Hard to deny against a woman with loads of ghosties and hitting for over 200 damage a hit. It's no easy task. Even General finding the tier 1 tower at the top lane as well. So 2 towers quickly full in conjunction there for Na'Vi. Lovely little bit of gold. And even General, only 100 gold now away from this Blink Dagger. As soon as this is online, we'll probably see him start roaming around this map and trying to find a couple of kills onto Miracle. He will be that high priority target, if they can find him. He's actually just completely skipped the Mask of Madness. Maybe realising that his farm's so far behind, he doesn't really have the luxury to go for that sort of item. Just needs to get his Echo Saber on as fast as he possibly can. Even with the Empower coming out from Mind Control, he's actually doing more damage to the creeps next to him than the ones he's hitting. You got 90% cleave plus a 30% cleave, so you got 120% cleave damage. So yeah, whoever you're not hitting is taking more damage. It's really weird how that works. Very bizarre. Like General, maybe he wants to hunt down on for GH here. With that Blink Dagger available, he's going to be able to chase him if he really wants to. GH will find the nice gap between the trees, manage to slip away. So there's not going to be any sort of surprise gank coming out now from General with this Blink Dagger. I think we already know this is online, so they're going to be perfectly aware for when the jump does come out from General. So, I mean, he's still just sort of sat up here farming, though. I would have expected him to try and find something to make some sort of play happen across the map somewhere, but he's just playing Farmer Simulator right now. All he cares about is his next item. He's going for that BKB. Meanwhile, down the bot lane, Weehar's actually rotated around here with his smoke and a haste rune on. They're going to run into Always Want to Fly. And even a couple of TP rotations coming around from the rest of Na'Vi. Oh, the jump forward from General actually connects onto Weehar before he's able to fly off into the trees. The haste rune's about to run out though, so he is going to start limping around. And he ain't going to be able to escape now. Even gets Laguna bladed in the back there by Roger.
Wanna play with fire?
That Pyromancer is a spy. Oh, a little bit of misjudgment there from General. Mind Control's gone completely the opposite direction, mate. A little bit off the mark there. Yeah, that was a worthy attempt. Kuroki's actually just sat into the trees. Probably just wants to cut out this creep wave. Delay the push that's going to be coming out from Na'Vi, perhaps. Or not. He's just sat there. What are you waiting for, Kuroki? What is the game plan here? I can't tell if he's doing these drawings or if it's Always Want to Fly. Okay, now Kuroki's TP now. Oh, was his TP on cooldown? His TP might have just been on cooldown. I don't think I noticed that. Never mind, boys. But Blink Dagger now online for Mind Control. So now there's going to be that potential setup for a couple of ganks coming out from him. I mean, it is like a full 3 minutes, 4 minutes behind the Blink Dagger of General. So you can't, from just that alone, you can see the disparity between these two offlaners. Even a Battle Fury now online for Vichun. Gonna really start ramping up his own farming speed. I mean, even without the Battle Fury, he's actually still 100 gold over the top of Miracle. Oh, engagement down bottom though. The skewer comes out there from Mind Control, pushes Roger up onto the high ground, so he's stuck there completely. The jump forwards from General, gets the stun connection onto Mind Control. Now everyone's just in full retreat. Iceberg potentially caught out here, but Weehard just focuses down, Always Want to Fly in the back, and the Undying quickly falls down. So it's just a position 5 to fall on the side of Na'Vi. Meanwhile, every single member of Nigma had to rotate around for that. Meanwhile, Vichun was the soft on the other side of the map, claiming both the bounties, farming up himself. So Na'Vi's perfectly happy with that engagement. I mean, sure they would have liked to get a couple of kills themselves, but
Wanna play with fire?
you know, it's fine the way it was. Actually, Na'Vi, he does actually end up getting caught down. The ward in the Radiant jungle gave him the vision. It does get pinged out by Roger, so that's most likely going to get it denied pretty soon. Iceberg. Might potentially try and get ran down there by Kuroki, but this ward sees everything. They realise the General's is hiding off in those trees. Maybe the cooldown comes out for Weeha. Trying to focus down on Iceberg as much as they can. General's still waiting inside. Could get a really nice big crusher off here. But he's actually not going to get engaged at all. He's just going to hide in the trees. Just watches the rest of his team die. While everyone out on the side of Nigma just falls back. Miracle though, he's actually turned around. So maybe they're still waiting forward. Jump forward from mind control. Gets the shockwave connection onto Roger. And he even gets brought down. Triple kill now for Miracle. And still General was just watching. He just did not want to get involved. There was a couple of points where he could have jumped in, got like a 3-4 man crush, and potentially delayed the kill onto Iceberg and allowed him to get himself healed up. But now he'll jump in, but he misses! Oh, all that waiting, all that patience for absolutely nothing. Oh, that's got to feel bad. The blink dagger from Miracle just completely evades that jump. Oh, that's got to hurt. But even still, I mean, this is an item that you used to see all the time on Sven's because it was the only way that he could actually close the gap between heroes. But since the Aghanims upgrade for him came out, you tend to not see it anymore. But obviously, his game has suffered quite significantly this time. So he doesn't really have the luxury to save up for that big expensive item of the Aghanims. Just wants to go for the poor man Superman. The poor Superman? Super poor man. Hey, I like super poor man better. It was still V-tuned, still working towards his own BKB. Only about, what's that? 1,300 gold away? No, about 1,000 gold away, actually, not 1,300. So we'll have that online pretty soon. So he'll probably want to start getting involved in some of these engagements once he does actually have that online. Got the Desolator queued up as his next item once that BKB is up. I mean, he's definitely going to have his BKB once he cleans up a couple of these stacks. Vampire Fangs and People's Gift. Sends them both, just wants to keep onto that Van Braces. Likes the bonus attack speed. So Nigma, they're all gathering up around the bottom rune. I mean, that did get spot out though by this ward, so I think everyone on the side of Na'Vi realised this gank's coming. So they're all grouping up themselves. Roger's actually sat himself in the front lines. Maybe want to bait it out, make him go on there. Miracle immediately pops his God Red, jumps straight on top of his One to Fly, and he kills him in 3 hits. The Undying's definitely dead now. And that just sets up for a free tower kill. Miracle brings it down super quick. Oh, cancels his own TP. Wants to turn around, jumps straight forwards onto Iceberg. Nice RP, comes out from Mike Control, pulls them both together, and sets up for a super easy cleave kills. But there by Miracle. V-Tunes is trying to run away, even popped his own BKB now. You're going to go for the TP out. Ooh, I think his BKB just ran out as his TP completed. So very fortunate there for him. But even still, lovely moves by Nigma. Despite the fact that Miracle has been slightly behind V-Tune for the entirety of this game, it doesn't feel like it. He's still doing so much damage in these fights. Especially when you get nice little RPs like that from Mind Control. So now Na'Vi, though, they want to move into this Roshan pit. They want to try and get some sort of advantage back into their favour, seeing as how this game has pretty much been taken back to a neutral standing point. So Aegis now online in the hands of V-Tune. Will be a bit more difficult for a while for the side of Nigma to actually bring him down. We'll see if Miracle's going to bother building an MKB. Yeah, okay, yeah, he has got the MKB queued up. Just wants to finish up his AC first, though. Only 200 gold away. We'll have that after clearing out this ancient stack. A Bloodstone online for Iceberg. So at least he's got a little bit more sustainability now, but I mean, there's not been a huge amount of kills for quite a while for Na'Vi. So it's not exactly like he's going to be able to accumulate a dump load of Bloodstone charges. But even still, just the HP healing factor that it does bring, was it 2-minute cooldown? 85 seconds. It is quite nice. It can completely turn the tables in a lot of fights. How much is it? It converts 30% of your max mana to health regeneration over 2 seconds. So, what's that? That's like 550 HP? 550 HP, like, personal heal. It does cost 500 mana, though. So it's basically like nearly 1 mana per HP for Iceberg at the moment. It's quite a bit. The jump forward for Miracle immediately finds out Iceberg. Seems how he was to sat underneath for a sentry ward. Even Microchop commits the RP just to guarantee that Iceberg dies. V-Tune even jumps towards in there, trying to make a little bit of space. Always want to fly, drops in the background. Ewan's going to lose his tombstone, but another jump forward for Miracle again. Finds another grab onto Roger. So get another 3 kills falling towards Miracle. And this is Na'Vi with the Aegis, so you would have thought they would have been trying to apply a little bit of pressure themselves. But there's no fear on the side of Nigma right now. Just in full aggression mode. And it's paying off. They're finding these kills every single time. I mean, this did start off really well at one point for Na'Vi. They were slowly building a steady lead, but these last couple of engagements have just forced that graph all the way down into their favour. Desolate is at least now online for V-Tune, so he does have that potential to do quite a lot of damage. We'll see what he's able to find. Looks like they might run into Weeha. Down on the low ground. He's actually going to move up. He will get brought down pretty quickly with the Gunda Blade and the LSA right in his face. So Weeha drops. And Na'Vi's on the hunt for more. Jump forward for V-Tune again. Gets a nice couple of crits onto Kuroki. And it brings down the Omni Knight. The Blink Dagger just comes up there for Miracle. So he's able to dodge out himself at least. So V-Tune's actually got a Nullifier queued up. I know that's definitely going to be a nice way to purge off the Heavenly Grace that's going to be coming out from Kuroki. As well as the Empower buff. And the Warcry buff. So there's definitely a good few abilities and items that this Nullifier will be cancelling out. So I think it's a pretty good pickup for V-Tune right now. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Big rotations though from Nigma, all hanging out behind this tier 2. Really want to keep this alive. Not choosing to dive in super far yet. Miracles has positioned himself very aggressively. You just Blink Dagger straight up to the high ground there with no vision. The balls on this man. They will not get spotted out by... Oh, actually they don't get spotted out by this wall, but I think they just saw the smoke. V-Tune, he runs into the side, dives into everyone. He's going to force out the Guardian Angel. Meanwhile, the Miracle just jumps straight onto his one fly. Doesn't get saved by the stun that comes out from General, but even so, he's going to drop. V-Tune manages to find the return kill into Kuroki at least, so at least they're trading a couple of supports around. But it doesn't really matter. General just gets focused down by Miracle, and Weeha takes too much damage. The egg tried to go off there, but it finally gets countered out by the rest of Na'Vi. But it doesn't matter. Na'Vi's on the back end of this game. Finally, the RP comes out, connects onto both of them, and they're both gone. V-Tune, he will finally respawn, but everyone on the side of Nigma's is pretty low. V-Tune just commits forward, manages to finish off Miracle at least, and he just goes straight up for the BKB TP out. But even with that little final kill there from V-Tune, that fight still favours Nigma. Well, forget what the hell this fight recap says. That's absolute bollocks. So that actually ends up being a 3 for 2. 4 for 2, because I always want to fly did die. Oh, never mind. Another quick kill there by V-Tune. These crits, man. These crits! This is like why pubs. Every single time the PA crits. It's brutal. So, Kuroki did die, and Always Wanted to Fly did die as well. So, I suppose it actually ended up being a 4 for 4 in the end. Because it was quite a long-winded fight. But I suppose then it does slightly favour Na'Vi, the fact that V-Tune is still up and able to carry on farming. Just going to further that little the gold gap between these two position ones. And he's already 2k over the top of him. And he's going to have this nullifier really soon. Only 300 gold away. Demon Edge, pretty close to being finished up by Miracle as well. 200 gold away. Really wants that to actually finally bring down V-Tune in these fights. It looks like Nigma want to go for an immediate smoke out with this timing. Everyone getting their delivered items, ready to go to war. Raise the banners. Use the smokes. Charge forward. Onward. I don't think Na'Vi are quite suspecting this just yet. And from the angle, it looks like they're going to run straight into V-Tune as their first target. The smoke gets popped. Jump forward from Miracle. But the General manages to get his BKB off in time. Nice quick reactions by him, but he's still hanging around. Maybe potentially want to go for some sort of counterplay. Not quite ready to jump in just yet. He actually just going to change his mind, despite the fact that they have nice vision there, seeing everyone on the side of Nigma. Maybe they're just not quite feeling confident enough to try and make that sort of play. Well, Roche is potentially up in 40 seconds, so I think that's probably what Na'Vi are just waiting for. They've actually just gone for a smoke up of their own. Ooh, even a double damage rune spotted out. V-Tune's going to be hurting like an absolute truck right now. I mean, that is... What, he's hitting for 500 damage a hit with the chance to crit as well for an extra 450% damage. That's disgusting. 2,500 damage crits. I think anyone who does get crit on is just dead. Does anyone survive it? I mean, I suppose Miracle will survive one, purely because of armor, but even still, he's going to be very, very upset. Fortunately for Nigma, they don't actually get punished by this DD on V-Tune. Surprised they didn't go for like some sort of bottle play. Oh, it's actually Iceberg still got a regen rune bottled up. I think if you didn't have that, then you probably would have. Both teams sort of like positioned on opposite sides right now. Roshan has spawned and it gets immediately spotted out by Nigma. I think the courier of General spotted out as well. Yeah. So they do realise what's going on. And they're going to start making their way over here. So both teams now are just going to be staring at each other from across this river, waiting for the other one to make the first move. This is a make or break part of the game. It's super even between these two teams right now. So whoever gets on top of this, everything now just gets committed by Na'Vi, Tombstone, and Exorcism. They want to try and bring down Miracle. Immediately pops his God Strength, focus on Iceberg, and he just melts in seconds. Could not get anything up. Even the 8 gets committed now by GH. They're all just going to be forced to fall back. Tombstone drops pretty quickly once everyone actually decides to focus on it. But Iceberg, he's pulled back, but he's not going to have Exorcism. Jump forward from General to get stuck connection on 2. But he gets turned on and annihilated from Miracle. Way too much damage. He's hitting like a goddamn monster. Once again, jumps straight forward. Bursts down, always want to fly. Immediately buys back. I think all Na'Vi needs to do is to sort of wait for this God Strength to fizzle out a little bit and then try and make another move in. Well, I mean, I say make another move in, but potentially just try and hold this Roche from being taken, at least until General's up again. This is really scary, though. Especially seeing that Exorcism's still gone for 80 seconds. I really think... Iceberg, he needs a BKB. He needs a BKB or a Yules, or I think that's actually an Aeon disc. An Aeon disc would be nice. Actually, is that an Aeon disc? I don't think that is an Aeon disc, is it? I don't think so. But diving forward from GH again, just poking and prodding. Even the cooldown comes out from Weeha. Does quite a nice bit of damage onto V-Tune. Just holding him back for now. He goes in there, gets a couple of crits off, and now Nigma's going to try and move in there, try and make something happen. V-Tune, he managed to get the kill, picks up the Aegis and the cheese, and he's actually going to return kill now onto Miracle. This is the moment the Navi has been waiting for. General's run straight into the backlines, trying to get a grab onto somebody else. Groki attempts to go for the TP out, but gets caught by the NSA, so he's probably going to end up dropping eventually. And GH just gets backed into the corner and just, wow, I don't want to say it, but gang raped, really. Jesus Christ. Groki just on the run, General on the hunt. Easy Yule set up, slapped in the face, and he dies. So 3 deaths on the side of Nigma, and then Aegis and Cheese all still up on for Navi as well. So they're just going to take this straight up to this tier 3 tower. There is a glyph available for Nigma, so they're going to be able to delay this a little bit. So hopefully for them, they won't have to use any of their buybacks. But if they use the glyph now, then this next wave that is incoming is going to be able to stay alive for a very long time. They might be forced to use it, and they will now use it. But there is still a glyph available. The creeps are holding the Radiant creeps back anyway, so they're not even going to be forced to use it. But a jump forward from V-Tune, tries to get for a grab onto Weeha. Only needs a crit. He needs a crit. He needs a crit. He needs a crit. He's not going to get it. Weeha's able to walk it off, manages to keep himself alive. Always want to fly it. He ends up dying by Weeha somehow. I don't know where the hell he ended up dying. But even so, V-Tune tries to focus out the racks, but he gets stunned up in place. I think this is going to be easy setup now for Miracle to bring him down. The Aegis does get popped, but everyone on Navi is out of there. V-Tune's left all alone, and he gets really quickly brought down. Gone for 99 seconds. Does have a buyback available, but obviously it would be pretty brutal if he's forced to use it. Oh, good lord. That was disgusting. Just one tap and everyone dies in that group wave. God Strength for only about a quarter of its duration left. So it will run out, but I think potentially Nigma might be able to take this tier 3, or at least pressure enough to force a buyback onto V-Tune. Even a Cypher Vice finished up for Weeha as well. Ooh, jump forward from General, gets the stun connection onto Miracle with the Ghoul Blade. Nearly brings him down, but a nice RP there from Mind Control. Makes enough space for Miracle to fall back. But again, oh, jump forward from Roger. Tries to go for a really aggressive grab with Miracle, but Miracle just turns around, whacks him in the face. He falls. Even Iceberg gets to get caught out by that Cypher Vice. I do not think he was expecting that to come out from Weeha. A buyback from V-Tune, but there's no buyback on Iceberg or Roger, so it's a 5-on-3. But Nigma are going to pay respect to that buyback either way and just fall back. Maybe they potentially want to try and work on some of the other lanes, seeing as though there are still the tier 2s up. There's even a tier 1 still available in the top lane. I think when they've gone for like a half smoke up now, they've let Navi fall into a full sense of security, but now Miracle's back. But there's no creep wave now, because they dawdled too long, and Roger's going to be up. So now they may as well just work onto this tier 1 at the top lane. There is a creep wave relatively nearby as well, if they need it. Which I don't think they do. Miracle will probably just bring it down anyway. GH had just got a refresher orb queued up. Wants to go for those big double leg plays. I suppose the next Roshan is going to be a Aghanim's or a refresher shard. So I guess he's hoping for an Ags. An Ags on the GH would be pretty nice. But actually, they might just give the Ags straight over to Miracle. Just allow him to just get a little bit more continuation with these team fights. To get on top of people a bit sooner. Even got that Daedalus queued up. He does have enough to finish it, but I think he needs to save enough for buyback. So he's going to be a little bit cautious about this. I think we're in this tier 1, but they're playing very cautiously. You don't want to get overcommitted. General's just sat in the front lines, but Nigma, they're not going to fall back just yet. They're going to try and wrap around around this little pillar. Everyone on the side of Na'Vi that is sat relatively close by. Jump over Miracle with the God Strength. There is an immediate Yule Scepter and the LSA to hold him back, but it doesn't matter. The E-Blade plus the Sun Ray is enough damage to bring General down. He's gone for a minute. Does have that buyback. If he really needs to, but there is still the God Strength already popped by Miracle. So maybe they want to just try and force down this tier 2 when the creep wave next arrives. Or they're actually just going to completely bail now. It's so disgusting to see creep waves die in one hit. It really is. Maybe Na'Vi wants to go for a play there. Roger with the Glimmer Cape moving forwards. Would have been a difficult kill to get, that's for sure. And now Nigma have just worked their way like around the map. So maybe Na'Vi wouldn't quite suspect them to come from this angle. Never mind. They will spot that with the outpost take. Wheeler Shoko sat on the floor. Gonna put in his hands of Weehaw. So Weeha's pretty tanky now. Doesn't have the biggest mana pool in the world, but it doesn't matter too much for him. Now, Cypher Vice is actually the most mana costly item and ability he has. So Daedalus are now online for Miracle. Meanwhile, V-Tune, he's still working towards that Satanic. Will be a bit of a much needed survivability, especially now that Miracle does have that MKB. Easily able to just pierce through the blur. Yeah, I think God Strength is available, RP available as well. So this is a go time for Nigma, if they can find anyone. They're going to spot out Miracle, jump forward from General, suns him up, with the Google Blade on top, he's gone in seconds. No way that Nigma can respond in time. They're going to carry on pushing forward. Kuroki's going to end up falling. Nice damage that came out from V-Tune. He's getting turned on by everyone else. The RP comes out from mind control, locks everyone in place. V-Tune's gone for 2 minutes, no buyback. Everyone else on the side of Na'Vi is dropping as well. There's just way too much damage from the rest of Nigma. General's able to escape. I don't think V-Tune's Iceberg's going to have the same luxury, and surely he drops as well. So 3 deaths on the side of Na'Vi. Even a buyback from Miracle just to get back into these fights. Just going to charge down this mid lane. Only 2 heroes left on the side of Na'Vi, and that's not going to be enough to keep him alive. And I think Nigma might just go straight for tier 3s. Tier 4s, sorry. They could potentially, yeah, they are. Miracle's going straight for it. They got the damage to bring it down pretty quickly. Nice stun there from General, trying to delay this out as much as they possibly can. I don't think it's have much effect. Even going to skew him back into the rest of the team. And General, oh, he's still alive somehow. What? General, how are you still alive? Miracle, hit him once. Hit with the Storm Hammer. There you go, he dies. Jump forward for Weehaw and GH. The egg burning, just absolutely destroying him in the fountain. Absolutely savage way to end the game. And GG is called by Na'Vi. And Nigma, they end up taking the game. Woo-wee! That was a very burst style of game. Just both teams with those quick like little engagements want to get those kills as fast as they possibly can and then just clean up afterwards. But Nigma, they come out on top. Just the pure damage output that came out of the Sven just outmatched the potential of the PA. And yeah, it wasn't really much that V-Tune could do to really match that sort of damage. So Nigma, they end up taking it. Despite the fact that Na'Vi basically won all of their lanes and they had a really nice start. But even still, just Nigma, they found the correct openings. They took the right engagements. And yeah, just simple efficiency plays. It was actually enough to pull themselves back into that game. And they end up taking it pretty convincingly, especially that last fight. I mean, Miracle got taken down super quick. But even still, he immediately buys back, gets back into that fight as fast as he possibly can. But even without him, there was quite a lot of damage on the side of Nigma to actually get a few return kills. Because V-Tune dropped super fast himself. Did he actually have his Satanic in the end? I don't think he did he? Yeah, so he didn't even have his Satanic to try and keep himself alive. A little bit unfortunate there for him, but That's notes. You can't always have the items you want. This is not the way it works. But even still, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I will be casting some games tomorrow. I'm not sure quite yet on which ones it will be, but I'll keep you guys posted. I'll put on Twitter which ones I'm going to be doing. But either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the future for a few more games. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching that video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and the content I was able to provide. I am just starting out, so if you did like it and you want to support me in the future, then please think about following and subscribing to me on Twitch, Twitter and YouTube. I post on Twitter what events I plan on covering in the future and when I'm actually able to do some casts. I don't have the most free time in the world, unfortunately, so I can't provide constant content, but I can guarantee you every single time that I do cast, I'm giving it my all because I have a lot of passion for it, and hopefully that does come off. So once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you stick around for the next video. So hopefully I see you guys there. Cheers.